The OKC Thunder were supposed to be the new 2016 Warriors, a historic 2-4-1 start, a defense that felt like a brick wall. But in the blink of an eye, the OKC Thunder have officially collapsed. They've lost 6 of their last 12 games. That is the exact same record as the tanking Washington Wizards. How does the best team in the West turn into a lottery team overnight? Is it just a slump, or did Adam Silver officially fix the league? Ever since the commissioner's shocking statement on NBA integrity, the Thunder's elite defense has vanished. The refs have changed the rules, and Oklahoma City is the primary target. Oklahoma City Thunder are now only a few unusual losses away from making history, and not the good kind. Following their loss to the Charlotte Hornets on January 6, they've already picked up their 7th loss of the season. The dream of breaking the 2016 Warriors' all-time wins record is looking increasingly slim. The real concern is that the Thunder's aura of dominance is fading. Getting swept by the Spurs might be chalked up to a bad matchup, but losing to the Suns, the Hornets, and specifically getting blown out at home by Charlotte by 27 points, you can't just dismiss that as having an off night. In the first 25 games, this team was untouchable. Their only loss was a 2-pointer to the Blazers while missing 4 key players. Their point differential surpassed the 96 Bulls and the 17 Warriors. Fans were asking, who can even beat this team? I even called them the Blue Bulls of the 21st century. But since that loss to the Spurs in the NBA semifinals on December 14, the wheels have come off. Tonight, we're exposing the 3 fatal flaws that every team is now using to destroy the Thunder, and the hidden reason why the NBA might not want them to win it all. Let's dive in. On December 20th, Anthony Edwards ran off for 26 points and 12 boards with a massive 2-block third quarter. He locked the game down in the clutch with 1 big bucket and 2 defensive stops. He hit a step-back 3 over Dort to pull the Wolves up by 1, then proceeded to block or strip SGA on consecutive possessions. In those final 2 minutes, Edwards simply outplayed SGA. That momentum carried over to the Christmas Day game. Although the Wolves lost, Ant's game-tying 3 in the 4th was legendary. You could argue the Thunder were just beaten by a superstar leap from Edwards, especially since the Wolves are a legit top 4 seed in the West now. But losing to a play-in team like the Suns and a tanking Hornets team is inexplicable. On January 5th against Phoenix, Devin Booker hit a 0.7-second game winner. Then, on a back-to-back against Charlotte, the Thunder trailed almost the entire game, down by as much as 30, before losing 97 to 124, their most painful loss of the season. First, the Thunder are getting torched from 3. The Suns shot nearly 40% from deep, making 17 threes, including Grayson Allen going an absurd 8 of 1 3. The Hornets game was even harder to believe. They shot 51.4% from deep with 19 made threes. Their big 3 Miller, LaMelo, and Bridges combined for 1-6 of 2-4 from distance. And that was with Bridges actually struggling, going 0 of 6 personally. Think back to the losses against the Pacers and Spurs. Their opponents were lights out from deep too. One game is a fluke. A pattern of getting torched by multiple players is a defensive crisis. Look at this possession. They give the ball to Miller and he gets a screen. It doesn't completely wall off the defender, but it gives Miller enough daylight to pull up from a step beyond the arc. The weird part is J-Dub's positioning. As Miller moves toward the middle, J-Dub just hands him off to Dort and ends up guarding thin air. It turns into a 2-on, 1-inch the slot. Miller is the Paul George heir apparent. You can't give him that kind of space on a pull-up jumper. That play was a result of muddled defensive logic and being too robotic. This next play shows transition chaos. Miller brings the ball up, sees the Thunder back in transition, so he doesn't drive but looks to pass. As he settles into the wing, he realizes no one is guarding him and drains an easy catch and shoot 3. That's a total breakdown in cross-matching, and it looks like the fault lies with SGA. On this next play, Chet is the issue. While guarding LaMelo, Chet overlaps on a drive, loses track of LaMelo's off-ball movement, and gives up a wide-open three. James hadn't even beaten J-Dub on the drive yet. Chet didn't need to commit that hard. OKC is giving up these threes because their execution has slipped. With their defensive pedigree, I believe they can fix these scheme errors in the film room. However, there's an unfixable issue. The wing rotation lacks size. Caruso, Dort, and J-Dub are elite defenders, but they aren't sized up forwards. They can stop drives, but they can effectively contest elite jumbo wing shooters. Second, the rebounding. Against the Suns and Hornets, the Thunder were dominated on the glass. The rebound margin against Phoenix was 49-29, a -2-0 deficit. Against Charlotte, it was 52-33, -19. You don't win games with those margins. Rebounding has been a lingering issue all season. They currently rank 18th in total rebounds and second to last in offensive rebounds, barely better than the Bucks. Without rebounding, OKC's offense becomes a one-and-done affair. When shots aren't falling and you can't get second chances, it kills a team's shooting confidence. Look at the Rockets. They are a rebounding powerhouse. They live by the shoot it, grab it, shoot it again mentality, often getting 2 or 3 cracks at a single possession. Why is OKC getting bullied now? A huge factor is the injury to Isaiah Hartenstein. iHart is averaging 10.4 boards, including 3.4 on the offensive glass. He is their most important rebounder period. This brings us back to the lack of size on the wings. Mark January 16 on your calendars, they play the Rockets again. If Hartenstein isn't back, watch that rebound battle. Some will point to Chet, but despite his length, his lack of thump and weight makes him an average rebounder. He's averaging just 8.2 rebounds in 28.6 minutes. His 15.8% rebound rate is lower than half the starting centers in the league, trading names like Adebayo, Gobert, and even centers on the Pistons and Jazz. 2 final details. First, the SGA workload. Shai is doing more than most realize. While the rest of the roster has been hit by the injury bug, SGA has only missed 1 game. His availability is incredible. But is he hitting a wall? Against the Suns, Booker were hunting SGA on switches in the clutch. He isn't a defensive liability, but they were doing it specifically to sap his energy. It got to the point where Coach Daniel actually subbed SGA out for a defensive possession, something previously unthinkable. So, we've peeled back the layers of OKC's struggles, from the individual to the collective. Some fans claim the Thunder are just a whistle team, but I'll defend them there. Their greatness isn't just about the refs. Even with these disadvantages, they are a legitimate title contender. It's just that now that these weaknesses are exposed and being targeted, they've dropped from historic or unbeatable status to being in the same tier as the Nuggets and Spurs. They are still favorites, but the gap has closed. A championship team is always under the microscope. Now, it's up to the Thunder coaching staff to counter-adjust. Whether it's J-Dub finding his form, trading for a big wing, or Dano finding new offensive wrinkles, they have work to do. The rest of the league won't stop digging for weaknesses. There are no easy paths to a ring.